Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to make pie crust, and here is the recipe. It's from Valerie Brunmeyer. She has a website called From Valerie's Kitchen. So this makes 2 crusts. You have 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and of course I use King Arthur. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use fine sea salt. 1/2 cup of unsalted butter cut into small chunks. 6 tablespoons of shortening. I use butter flavored Crisco, and I happen to know that 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons and 1/8 cup is 2 tablespoons. So that's how I measure it. Both the butter and the shortening have been kept in the refrigerator for a couple hours, so they're cold. You also need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and 4 to 6 tablespoons of cold water. So you've got to do a little pre-planning. You've got to make sure you get the ingredients in the refrigerator a couple hours before you want to make your pie crust. Why do we put apple cider vinegar in our pie crust? Because it slows down the creation of the gluten strands. So the pie crust will end up being more tender instead of stiffer, and that's a good thing. So let's get started. This is my food processor. I'm using my Vitamix. I've pre-measured 2 1/4 cups of flour. And since it's cups and not ounces or grams, I fluffed up the flour in my flour bucket before I scooped it in. I also put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'll kind of whoosh it around a little bit. Now I'm going to add the butter all at once, all nice and cold and cut up into small chunks. And I'm going to add the shortening. If you don't have an 1/8 cup measure, you could always do 1/4 cup and then 2 tablespoons. That would certainly work. So then the instructions say, once I get it in there, and I try to scrape as much as I can in, and on the top, and then I'm going to pulse it for, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe. I'm not sure what the instructions say. That's what I'm going to do until the butter is chopped up into nice little bits. Sometimes I'll take this off and shake it, and then put it back on and pulse it again. Okay, now I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of the water, because I might not need all 6. So, a tablespoon is 1/2 ounce. Okay, and then I'll add the apple cider vinegar, which is just 1 tablespoon. And now I'm going to run it for, what does it say? How long? Oh, I don't know. 20 seconds, maybe? I know it's noisy. And let's see what it looks like. Does it need more water? Maybe just a splash. So I'm going to put in a splash more water. Maybe 1 more tablespoon. That looks pretty good. Right, so I'm done with my food processing.